Alright, chat, so where you going? I have three. Bro, chill out, man. I have three sections. Oh my gosh, bro. What's up with my mic? Y'all hear that? Where's this coming from? Anyways, I have three sections of my video, 3 5-minute sections that I can edit on my phone real quick before I go back to my iPad to edit the other half. Whatever. Anyways, this is part 2 of the Kashimo fans losing their minds, but I'm probably gonna name it something different in this one because this is something that's actually like, it's not even it's obviously every video on here is slop, right? I'm not editing it at all, but this one is actually more informative, right? Bro, Kashimo versus Hakari is just it's so polarizing, and I just wanna go over it step by step. Obviously, I'm probably not gonna be able to do it in the time that I'm gonna be editing and talking at the same time, so I might ramble. But anyways, just to start off, we know that, oh wow, I gotta clear out my cloud, bro. What the heck? My cloud's about to be finished, and it's gonna take way longer for me to upload the video, bro, if this is happening. But anyways, yeah, to start off, the first thing that you have to know is that the reason why the fight is so polarizing is because battle IQ is used a bunch in this fight. There's certain things that, like, okay, there's certain like events in the fight that people can't really process, so to say, because like you see, let me give you an example. An example is Maki versus Naoya, right? Maki versus Naoya, the second fight. Let's talk about the second fight. In that fight, Maki hit Naoya with soul split. What the hell? Soul split katana. And that was it. Right? It was a devastating blow, yada yada. And the same goes for like everything else. But for Hakari versus Kashimo specifically, Kashimo is the only one with like the actual deadly attacks, while Hakari obviously all he has is punch and kick, right? And so when people see the guy with punch and kick, who doesn't even have black flashes as well, right? Because that's the reason why Yuji before, when he was punch and kick man, at least he got a pass, because eventually, oh yeah, if he hits that black flash on you, you're gonna be done, right? That was like the thing for him. For Hakari specifically, he doesn't do any black flashes. He just punches hard, right? And I think that is exaggerated a lot. I'll go into it in this video when we get to like a part that I'm thinking of right now. But yeah, that's really the main thing that makes it polarizing, because it is true. Like, Hakari doesn't have like a freaking Kamehameha blast like Yuta. Honestly, like, I'll probably bring that up as well. I hope people aren't saying that's like a win con on basically anyone, bro. Anyone except someone who's genuinely trying to clash with that, right? Because literally the 2 times this guy has used that was against Geto, who was about to shoot a freaking blast at him, and then Ryu, who was gonna shoot a blast at him. So he's just not going to use that outside of that context, right? But again, we'll get into Yuta soon, okay? He's gonna be like a big part of the conversation surrounding this fight. So let me just put the effects on this real quick. Okay, so the fight starts off with Hakari pulling up on Kashimo and him punching him away, even though like Kashimo blocks his attack, right? He punches the crap out of him, punches him away. This is very consistent in the fight, right? Even though Kashimo is shooting like more lethal attacks, Hakari's hitting him with heavier attacks. He's sending him through carts, he's sending him flying, right? He pulls up, he tries to follow up, and Kashimo narrowly dodges. And yeah, Kashimo narrowly dodges, yada yada. This doesn't really matter, right? So Kashimo goes in for a full combo on Hakari, right? He's comboing him, yada yada, and he's like, hey, don't disappoint me. And he punches the crap out of Kashimo again and sends him flying again, bro. This is the second time. Like I said, it's consistent that when Hakari is actually like punching the crap out of Kashimo, he will send him flying, bro. That's literally what he does. And then what he does after that is follow up. Like what he does here where he elbows him and Kashimo gets hit and Kashimo uses that to try to like counter and Hakari gets him off of him. But then this is the first time that Kashimo shoots a lightning blast at Hakari, right? People talk about if Hakari dodged here or not. I think he did. I mean, it's pretty obvious that this is not the same position as this. Like, can we be real here? And even beyond that, like, we could see the lightning going for his head, and it goes for his arm. Like, it's pretty obvious that it's not the same. It's pretty obvious that it's not the same position. You know, I've seen a lot of Kashimo fans cope about that, but it doesn't really matter. It honestly doesn't matter, okay? Kashimo hits him with the first lightning attack here. And of course, Hakari is like, he's wary of this. He's like, what the heck was that? And so he counterattacks against him. Counterattacks. Come on, man. He counterattacks. Kicks him away. Right? He uses reverse curse technique and he pops his another domain expansion, right? So far, Hakari's been just this chapter, right? Hakari's been beating the crap out of Kashimo, but Kashimo's like shot a lightning discharge at him, right? And so from here, you see like a change, but we'll get into that in a second. He pops another domain expansion, and now Kashimo understands what the hell just happened, right? Hakari was in jackpot mode, and that's why he was so like, that's why he had so much curse energy and had the music and the reverse curse technique, all that stuff. And so he finally understands it, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna kill you right now, okay? I'm gonna kill you. Because I think that's another thing that has to be mentioned, that Hakari goes into the fight. Obviously, this first attack is like, okay, who, like, F you, bro. You beat up Panda. Like, he's genuinely just trying to take him out, right? But after this, he finds out, oh, what the heck? Like, oh, Kashimo's, I mean, that's Kashimo? Okay, I need those points. And Kashimo in return, he's like, I'm gonna kill you. Like, I'm gonna kill you. And if you live through it, okay, bro, I'm gonna ask you about Sukuna, but I'm gonna kill you, right? So there's different, I don't really, like, take that as an anti-feat for Kashimo or a buff for Hakari. Like, it's too much mental gymnastics when it comes to, like, oh, this character's fighting to kill and this other character's fighting not to kill. It's like, they're fighting to win anyways, right? Like, well, what exactly, like, maybe it would be something if Hakari had, like, a one-shot technique that says it will kill Kashimo and he doesn't use it, right? Maybe that's when it would be, like, that's when it would be relevant, right? And of course, what I'm referring to right now is like the Yuta fight, where people say that Yuta and Ryu are not relative at all because Yuta didn't want to kill Ryu, and Ryu was trying to kill Yuta, and it's like, you don't even know who I'm talking about, bro.
No, I'm just talking about.
Okay. All right. What was I saying? Yuta didn't want to kill Ryu, and Ryu wanted to kill Yuta. But it's like, okay, if they're not relative, and Yuta had the ability to just like blitz and just dominate him, why didn't he just do that? Right? Like, why did he not just do that? But clearly there's no answer to that because they are relative, and it doesn't really matter their intention. It really doesn't matter. But going into this, what I just said just now sounds a little bit like, if you've been watching my videos, and if you actually watched my last video, it would sound ironic, right? If Hakari had the ability to like dominate Kashimo the entire time, then why wasn't he doing that? And we'll get into it right now, but I mean in a second. But hold on. How far am I into this editing, bro? Why does it take so long for me to just scroll and put effects on my stuff? So weird. Now my phone's lagging now. Okay, now it's giving me a reason to take long. But anyways, so Kashimo's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill you. So they start fighting, and this is a scene where it's like, you know, I'm gonna wait for the anime to come out before I actually give my full thoughts, because okay, yeah, I'll just put this right here. I want to wait for the anime to give my full thoughts, because what I've realized is that, yo, what is that sound, bro? What's up with my mic? My phone is acting up too, bro. You know what? No, I'm actually not dealing with that. I'm gonna just export my stuff so I don't have to deal with that, bro. Forget it. Phone's lagging, bro. All I'm doing is trying to put effects on my video. Damn, bro. Yo, editing is so annoying, chat. My fault. This is supposed to be a freaking Kashimo video, bro, and I'm over here complaining about editing. Let me just export this so I don't have to deal with it for the next like 9 minutes as it's exporting. So yeah, export failed, huh? Okay, this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're doing today. Export failed. How about, oh my gosh, bro, this is the shit I be talking about, bro. Like, bro, just let me export it.
Oh my gosh, finally.
Oh my gosh, bro. Hold on, chat. Alright, I decided to just restart my phone. I'm gonna see if it works in a second, bro. Oh my gosh, bro. This is so annoying. Anyways, yeah, so base Kashimo versus base Hakari happens right here. And Hakari gets beat. He gets fried. But the thing about this is, like, it's not even like, I can't even explain it. It's like a it's not even a stat thing, right? Because Hakari doesn't get bliss at all, but he gets outmaneuvered. So I guess, like, yeah, sure, Kashimo outmaneuvers him. Out techniques him. I don't know, something like that, right? He fries him. What the hell? I thought I just restarted my phone. Why did it just automatically open? Did it not restart? Oh my gosh, this is so scuffed, chat. Okay, it should be exported now. Yeah, Hakari just gets, like, out techniqued, I guess, right? I guess he gets not out techniqued, but yeah, Hakari. Yeah, what I wanted to say is that, like, I don't think Hakari would get, like, beaten like this under normal circumstances, right? Because we see over here, again, I'm waiting for the anime to come out, but I'm pretty sure over here they literally just start fighting again, but Hakari's not getting diffed because at this point he doesn't have pseudo spins to save him, right? And it's consistent in Hakari's character that when he's fighting with a way to, like, recover, he doesn't care if he takes damage, and he doesn't care what he's doing. Honestly, it's just to, like, to stall, right? Especially when he's getting a jackpot, right? Like, there's a scene with Charles, you know the scene where Charles stabs Hakari, and Hakari, he literally knows he's about to get a jackpot, but he lets himself get stabbed because literally right before that moment, he's like, you can't hit me. He literally just says that. He has his hand in his pocket and he's like, you can't hit me. And then he eventually hits him, but it's right before he gets a jackpot, and it's consistent. He did it before this as well. He didn't let himself get hit by the lightning, but he redirected the lightning. He understood that it was coming after him and it was an attack, and he let himself. Again, it's worded weirdly, but what I'm saying is, like, he got hit by an attack that makes his opponent think that, like, oh yeah, he's done, and then he attacks after that. Like, that's his gimmick. That's literally Hakari's gimmick, right? And yeah, Hakari stalls right here. He gets his jackpot. And then there's, like, here's something that Kashimo fans have recently, like, come up with. And it's like how Kashimo went for the hard way out of fighting against Hakari in jackpot rather than fighting him, rather than, like, running away or something like that. But the thing is, like, he wasn't going to be able to do that anyways. Like, he just was not. Like, what's the, like, what's the thought process behind that? Like, how was Kashimo going to run away from Hakari the entire time? That's what they've been saying. But what he really says here is like, oh, I just gotta outlast it, which is literally what he does. Which is like that's super funny, right? Because they say that, oh yeah, Kashimo went the hard way out. Even though that's literally what he does. He literally waits for him to finish Jackpot and then shoots him with something else, which we'll get into in a second. But, you know, of course, it's Kashimo Glaze, you know, dick riding. They don't really think it is what it is, right? So Kashimo goes for, in quotation, the hard way out, even though he literally, like, even though he literally says what he says he's not going to do. I mean, even though he literally does what he said he's not going to do. So Hakari and Kashimo start running, whatever. This is going to be so cool in the anime, bro. Oh my gosh. They have this scene right here. And then Hakari goes for a punch. Kashimo, like, he grabs, like, the door right here. He grabs this door, or this one. I don't remember which one. But he grabs, yeah, he grabs this door right here. He uses it to jump up, and he hits Hakari with the door. And he hits Hakari again. And he wasn't doing this before with, like, without without weapons, right? Without an environmental advantage, like Kashimo fans tried to, like, say that Hakari had, right? And only this way was he able to send that lightning into Hakari's head, because he's like, what just happened, right? And of course, this is Kashimo's attempt at killing Hakari in Jackpot, and it's just not working. And Hakari's like, okay, now that he's used the lightning bolt that he's been anticipating, he's been waiting for that to come, right? Because remember, before this, when was the last time he used the lightning bolt? The first time. The first chapter, that's what I meant. This was the last time he used the lightning bolt. And ever since he saw that, he was like, oh my gosh, like, hold on, let me chill out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let me chill out. And as soon as he used the lightning bolt, he was like, okay, now I can fry him, right? And so this is where, like, the controversy comes in, right? Because Hakari starts trying, he gets faster, and he starts beating the crap out of Kashimo. But people are like, he doesn't do anything to Kashimo. The thing about this is, like, here's the thing about this. First of all, I already established that when Hakari is, like, actually beating the crap out of Kashimo, he sends him flying every time, right? But also, Hakari expresses that he's going to fry him in the time that he gets to, like, beat the crap out of Kashimo, right? And then the round ends, and this is where I want to bring up, like, another fight, which is Sendai. And when you really read it, like, if you read it under, like, the Hakari hating lens, it's like, just look at this real quick, okay? I'm gonna ask you some questions, and you answer the questions on your own, and then be like, okay, does that make sense? So look. Wait, what am I looking at? Because I'm trying to think of, like, what happened in that chapter. What did happen in that chapter? Well, whatever. So come look at this. What the heck is this panel? Oh my gosh, let me get off of that. Oh my. Anyways, so I think everybody agrees that Rika's pretty freaking strong, right? Rika's really strong. But come look at this. Yuta and Rika fight in tandem. They stop Uro in place, so she cannot block or anything. And both of them just beat the crap out of her, right? But, like, she's, like, what? Are we, like, they beat the crap out of her, right? Rika specifically, because I think people agree that Rika's, like, super freaking strong herself. She's getting beat by Rika and Yuta at the same time without being able to block any of these attacks. Just, she's getting obliterated, bro. What? Guys, can you tell me what Yuta was going to use on Uro to finish her off here? Think of the abilities that Yuta has. He has Curse Speech, Drew Shikigami. What is he going to use against Uro to finish her off? You've got your answer, right? Continuing to beat the crap out of her. Like, bro. And now what I really want to show, oh, actually it's in the same chapter, so I don't really have to go to anything else. You guys can see the damage she's doing to, you guys can see the damage that Rika's doing to Uro right here as she's beating the crap out of her in tandem with Yuta, right? This is for a short amount of time as well, because I mean, at the same time, Hakari was only beating on Kashimo for 8 seconds. Literally 8 seconds, right? Now compare that to this one punch on Ryu, bro.
I swear.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, this one punch on Ryu, or 180, or this one punch on Ryu right here. This thing I got him like, ugh. You can see a difference between like the output of these attacks, right? Like, there's no way these attacks are these. You know what I mean? There's no way each of these attacks are just these, because Ryu is of course like supremely durable. Yeah, Ryu is like supremely durable in Sendai, and so if all of those attacks were these attacks, like, oh my gosh, Uro would have died, bro. You know what I mean? So not only is the problem the fact that like all Hakari had to do was just continue doing that, which he is capable of doing. He was just wary of the lightning from before, right? So that's why he wasn't doing that before. All he has to do is just continue doing that. But also, these attacks, I'll just put them like this. Okay, hold on. These attacks is similar to these attacks, right? And this attack, or this attack, let's use this one specifically, right? Because if you notice, the damage Hakari does to Kashimo right here is literally the exact same one. I mean, exact same damage as Rika does to Ryu right here. Exact same damage. Like, look at his face. Gets his ass rocked, right? This punch right here is not the same as these punches right here. Obviously it's not. 3 punches that Kashimo was he didn't even block that, actually. What the hell? I never noticed that. He didn't even block these. And we've seen Kashimo literally block something with a weapon and get sent flying. It's not the same. It's literally not the same. We know it's not the same. But regardless of them not being the same, right? Obviously, Hakari can be punching harder. But even if he's not punching harder, all Hakari has to do is just continue punching him and he's dead. That's literally all that's all that matters. All he has to do is continue doing that and he's dead. And Kashimo, and let me add this, there's something called a pace change, right? A tempo change, actually. A pace change, tempo change within JJK, right? Let me get a good example of this. A good example of this is, I'm about to embarrass myself. I don't know the exact chapter, bro. Actually, I'm going to calculate it, bro. Maharaga. Nosebleed? Maharaga. Nosebleed. Basketball domain. Basketball domain. Yep, it's 226. Yes. I'm sorry, I literally don't, like, I only know the chapters of Gojo vs. Sukuna after 229. That's the only, like, that's where I know it. But before that, nah. But anyways, this is a tempo change right here, or a pace change, if you will. where Sukuna and Gojo are obviously relative regularly, right? We know that. We know that they are. Like we see them go relative regularly. Right? We see them go yeah, we literally see them go relative regularly, right? With Gojo having blue and yada yada. And Gojo doesn't have blue hair anymore. But I think what it is the fact that, you know, even though Gojo doesn't have blue, he does have a downgrade in speed, but it's not to the point where Sukuna can blitz him, right? So that's why like Sukuna isn't completely dominating him, because even though they're neck and neck, like they're still in the same realm without blue, you know what I mean? And so when Gojo finally uses blue once again and skyrockets his freaking speed, he blitzes Sukuna here, right? But obviously it's not indicative of what would actually happen in the fight, right? Gojo wouldn't be blitzing Sukuna over and over again, because we've seen it. We've seen them literally fight before, and they were relative. That's a tempo change, because Sukuna wasn't. Bro, who? Really? Come on. And that's not about to turn off anyways, bro. Aiden, can you check back there to see if it's them? If it's the neighbors? Oh, actually, it's getting lower. What was I saying? Yeah. This is a tempo change because Sukuna wasn't expecting Gojo to go this fast, right? And so after this, he would adjust and he wouldn't get blitzed anymore, right? And so the same is for here. I mean, not the same actually. The same should be for here, where Kashimo acknowledges that Hakari is getting faster, right? And so he should be able to adjust if Hakari and Kashimo are actually relative, right? If they're actually supremely relative, like everybody says, Kashimo should be like, oh, okay, I wasn't expecting that. Let me adjust my speed to get there. Bro. They tweaking, man. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna be back when that thing goes lower. Okay, they went lower like literally 5 seconds after I said that. Anyways, yeah, Kashimo should be, if he's like supremely relative to Hakari, he should be able to adjust to it, right? He doesn't. He acknowledges it. Hakari keeps on beating his ass. I guess this is him trying to adjust to it, but no. Hakari's gone, bro. Where are you punching, bro? And Hakari bends him over his knee and beats the crap out of him, bro. He's getting his ass beat. And also, by the way, like, you know what? Let me not even say that. But anyways, so yeah, I've already established that, like, yeah, Hakari's punches here aren't indicative of how he would actually be punching, right? Because, hey, he could be landing heavy blows like these, right? These one-off punches, right? But instead, he's doing these punches, which is just, okay, I'm gonna just continue beating the crap out of you until you die. That's literally all he was doing, right? And then this is where another part of like the Kashimo glaze comes in, where Kashimo uses this lightning, right? It catches Hakari off guard. This is actually very good battle IQ. He caught Hakari off guard. And so right after this, Hakari's like, I'm not dealing with this bullshit anymore, bro. You know what he does? Hakari gets a jackpot, and what does he do? He sends Kashimo into water. Now, oh my gosh, bro. Oh my gosh. This is so annoying. I hope it's not so loud on the mic. I can't really test that. Anyways, I'm just gonna assume it's not that loud. I hope it's not that loud, bro. If it is, that's all I can say, bro. But anyways, Hakari sends him into water, right? And the reason why he's doing this is not because Hakari can't put him down, because again, all Hakari has to do is just continue to beat the crap out of him and yada yada, right? But the reason he's doing this is not because Hakari isn't able to deal with Kashimo. It's because Kashimo keeps using the lightning in different ways that Hakari cannot predict. We already established that Hakari was wary of the lightning, okay? He saw it the first time, and then from there he didn't use his stat advantage because eventually Kashimo can just recover and then shoot a lightning blast at him and then just freaking kill him out of nowhere, right? He was wary of that. And so Kashimo keeps Kashimo keeps using it in different ways, and it literally almost killed him because he used it when he finally turned to base, right? And so, what is the smartest thing to do, bro? Continue fighting Kashimo, like continue to beat up Kashimo while he has different ways to shoot his lightning at you, or get rid of the problem. Like, what? What are we talking about right here, right? And the funny thing is, like, people will say, oh yeah, Hakari had to do this to Kashimo because he didn't have a way to put him down or something like that, right? Okay. You could say the opposite for freaking Kashimo sneaking base Hakari. Wasn't this the guy who said, I'm going to kill an immortal guy? And he couldn't do it, so he was like, okay, I'm gonna just kill you in base. And he still failed to do that? Like, the slander can go both ways, bro. Like, what are we doing here, bro? Clearly, it's battle IQ. No, bro, I literally just told you guys that it was supreme battle IQ for Kashimo to hit base Hakari there, like to catch him literally the second jackpot ended and shoot him with the lightning. I was like, that's supreme battle IQ. But when Kashimo fans see Hakari send Kashimo into the water, what are they gonna say? They're not gonna say that's battle IQ. They're gonna say, oh, Hakari's too weak. Like, Kashimo fans are just that dumb. I'm sorry, bro. They really are. They just cope a lot. It's ridiculous, bro. The fact of the matter is, both of these instances are battle IQ rather than, oh, I don't have an answer to it. Because clearly, Kashimo can try to continue trying to kill Jackpot Hakari, but the easier way is to kill base Hakari, right? Or Jackpot Hakari can easily just continue beating the crap out of Kashimo because he has better stats than him, but the easier way is to get rid of the lightning stuff that he keeps shooting at him. You know, it's just like the I don't know, it's really like it's crazy that this conversation has to be had, even though it's pretty obvious, and like the narrative that Hakari needs to do this because he can't put down Kashimo is just so dumb to me. Because again, like, what do you think Yuta would have continued doing to Uro right here if Ryu wasn't in the way and they kept fighting? Because guys, do I need to remind you that Yuta did use Shikigami? It does absolutely nothing to Uro, and he continues to try to punch. Like, literally, this is literally all Yuta is doing because that's all he has. He continues to try to punch Uro, and that's how he was going to take her down. He was just going to continue punching her. That was literally what he was going to do. Like, that's literally, like, that was the plan, bro. Right here, all they had to do was just continue doing this until Uro just got knocked out or died. And that's the exact same thing for Hakari, bro. And again, Hakari he wasn't putting all of his output in each of his punches, because if he was, Kashimo would have got sent flying. Just like, oh, I pressed the wrong one. Just like Rika was doing to Ryu. That guy's got sent flying. They both got sent flying, bro. Feel me? But yeah. But yeah, so anyways, we get to this part of the fight. And I don't really see, like, it doesn't really matter what happens here, honestly. Right? Nothing really matters. Again, another example of Kashimo just getting sent flying by Hakari's attacks. When Hakari actually tries to, like, send him, like, you know, when he actually puts puts power into his attacks, he gets sent flying. This is the third time we've seen it, right? And so Kashimo's in the ground, yada yada. This happens, la 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 la. And then funnily enough, right? People say that oh, Kashimo went for the harder way out instead of waiting for base Hakari to come back, which is a lie, by the way. Again, we've already established that Kashimo did wait for it, right? And it was high battle IQ to do that. But also, like, bro, Hakari says, you know what? I should probably leave the water, right? Because the water is super hot, right? And the poison is going to be crazy. And, you know, yada, 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 right? And so he says, I should probably go up. Should I go to the surface? Nah, instead, I'ma just attack. I'ma just attack. You know what I'm saying? F it, I'ma just attack, bro. What are we talking about here, bro? F it, nah, I'ma just attack. Instead of going to the surface and letting Kashimo just stay underwater, just like stay underwater and just run out of curse energy by himself, maybe even drown. I don't know. That's what Hakari could have done, but he went to attack. He went for the harder way out, right? And so Kashimo goes for an explosion. He explodes Hakari's arm off. Hakari, of course, using battle IQ. He saves himself from it, and Hakari wins. Now, the final thing I have to mention is the fact that like Hakari did win this fight. Hakari does say that, oh, I don't consider this a win, and the reason why he doesn't is because he didn't use his curse technique, and Kashimo literally gives us a reason. He gives Hakari a reason for why he didn't use his curse technique, right? So it's like, okay. But by the way, I stopped talking because this is insane battle IQ right here. But anyways, yeah, what was I saying? Yeah. Hakari says, I don't think I won that fight because you didn't use your curse technique. And then Kashimo literally replies with a reason that he didn't use his curse technique, and it's not because like, oh, he was holding back on him. It's because I'm gonna freaking die if I use it. Like it. And the thing is, like, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable cope when people say that, like, you know, oh, Kashimo was holding back on Hakari, right? Because first of all, Kashimo has never been. I mean, this is when he would be forced to use his curse technique, right? But he has this like loneliness in his first life without using his curse technique. Every Kashimo fan understands that. He had this loneliness in his first life with never using his curse technique. And for a high schooler gambling addict to literally force this guy to use his curse technique for the first time ever is genuinely like sad. That's just sad. Honestly, it is. Right? So for you to say, like, you have to understand that, like, if you're saying that Hakari didn't win because Kashimo was holding back, you acknowledge that Hakari beat a base Kashimo, right? That's the first thing. You already acknowledge that base Hakari. You already acknowledge that Hakari beat base Kashimo, all right? So you already acknowledge that. And what you're saying now is that, oh, it wasn't a win because curse technique Kashimo would have beat him, and that's pathetic. It really just is, because that just proves what I've been talking about over and over again. That, bro, base Kashimo obviously isn't top 3 or anything like that, but also, like, he's a fraud. If Hakari was back then, bro, he would have had the loneliness of the strongest as well, bro. Put Yuta back in the Edo period, bro, and he would have been like farming XP on farmers. Put like Maki and Toji, bro. Put Yuji back then, bro. They will all be the strongest, coming to Sukuna being like, oh, I'm so lonely, bro. It's fucking pathetic. It honestly is, bro. To be like, oh, he didn't use his curse technique, so he was holding back. It's like, okay, so you acknowledge that he beat base Kashimo, right? The Kashimo who's super lonely. So you acknowledge that he's not really that strong. Hey, it is what it is. But actually, I want to bring up a comment, and this comment is the reason why I'm making this. So let me pause and come back. All right, so wait, how do I do this? Okay, so basically Cool Des made this comment. This timestamp is referring to when I brought up this panel right here. I brought up this panel, right? And again, it's like it's this Kashimo thing where it's like, oh, he killed him so many times. And it's like, bro, it didn't kill him though. It didn't. Single panel. zoomed in on a single panel of Hakari punching Kashimo. Okay. Ignoring Kashimo giving Hakari multiple fatal wounds in the fight, and Hakari at best bruising Kashimo. Insane cope. It's like, okay. Do people say this about like Gojo versus Sukuna? Do people ever say that? Right? So during Gojo versus Sukuna, right? Oh my gosh, I can't even think of a good example because like it's the exact same thing where like you will never see people be like Gojo killed Sukuna 4 times. Let me show you the 4 times Gojo killed Sukuna, right? Oh my gosh. You will never see someone be like, Gojo killed Sukuna 4 times. You never see it, right? You never see it. Gojo kills Sukuna 4 times to cope about the fact that Gojo lost. You never see that BS, bro. Right? Let's go to another fight. Bro, oh my gosh. Chat. I cannot, like, I thought about it the other day. And I'm going to make a separate video for this as well. But that's going to be, like, maybe later today, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. If you reread Sendai Colony, right? Oh, what the heck? Did I delete those? Probably deleted them. If you reread Sendai Colony, first of all, like, Yuta fans have genuinely deluded themselves into thinking like Yuta 1v2'd Uro and Ryu. That's not the case, right? Because Uro gets pieced by Kuro and Uro all at the what? Kuro and Ryu, that's what I meant. Like, that's how she gets taken out. And then Ryu, we'll get to Ryu in a second. So when you see oh my gosh. Like, let's talk about all the damage that Uro has taken, right? Uro takes 0 damage in this chapter. 0. Like, literally 0 damage in this chapter. She takes no damage in the next chapter. And this is the first time Uro takes damage. Chapter 178. And the first time she takes damage is the punches from Rika and Yuta, right? And then she takes the Shikigami thing, which, again, like, no one's about to say, like they be saying, like they be coping about, fatal wounds, right? Like they be coping about fatal wounds. So that's not a fatal wound, and these aren't fatal wounds because they're just punching her, right? And then she finally gets taken out because she gets hit with a granite blast. And it's like, okay, so why isn't she like labeled as a freaking why isn't Yuta labeled as a butterhands? Huh? They were beating the crap out of Uro before, bro. She didn't instantly freaking die, bro. Why isn't she a freaking butter? I keep saying she. I mean, I guess she and he. So I'm talking about Rika and Yuta. They were beating the crap out of her before. Why aren't they being called a butterhands, bro? Okay. And then you look at Ryu. Ryu takes. Let's talk about Ryu's damage. Ryu takes his own granite blast, right? That's the first time he takes damage. Oh no, it's the next chapter. First time Ryu takes damage is his own granite blast, right? Yeah. That was even he didn't even take damage from that because he just blasted him away. This is his first time taking damage and his own granite blast, right? The second time he takes damage is one punch from Rika. One punch from Rika, bro. Literally one punch. I'm not bugging, right? Yes, one punch from Rika. One punch. And then the third damage he takes is Thin Icebreaker? No. Yeah, Thin Icebreaker. So he's taking his own Granite Blast once. He got one punch from Rika. Thin Icebreaker. One punch from Rika again. And then they start boxing. And when I say take damage, I'm talking about like when they're not blocking, right? This is like, I guess right here he's not blocking. But yeah, they're boxing. And then he gets finished off by his own Granite Blast. Now, again, chat, what would Yuta have been doing if he didn't have this Granite Blast to finish him off? What would he have done? You have your answer? He would have continued beating the crap out of him. Like it's rocket science to other people, but of course, the reason why it's such rocket science is because we don't see that happen for real. We don't see it happen. Because again, there's always other factors, like the freaking Kamehamehas that are in this fight specifically, bro. Ryu takes out himself and he takes out Uro, bro. And then Yuta basically blasts Kurorushi out of here, bro. Like, do you see what's going on? Most of the time, there's like these other abilities, and you never really see a thing where it's like, okay, you have to close out the fight without using like these other abilities. Like, literally, it all comes down to continuing to batter the fuck out of them, and then they'll just freaking get knocked out or die, bro. It really is that simple. It literally is that simple, bro. So I'm gonna make a video on the butter hands things again, but basically my point is, I think it's like it's overplayed in the community about like Hakari not being able to finish fights in quotations. If he's able to punch you, if he's able to outstat you, which he does outstat a lot of people, right? Then he's beating the fuck out of you, bro. He is. He is. He's beating the fuck out of you, bro. He's gonna continue doing that. It is what it is, bro. And Kashimo specifically, he is a victim to that. Of course, Hakari did go for like, okay, I'm gonna just throw him into water and get rid of that bullshit. But if he wanted to, he could have. But under other circumstances, he would have continued doing that, right? He would have got his jackpot, right? Like this jackpot right here. In normal circumstances, he would have gotten this jackpot right here. He would have gotten this jackpot right here. He would have acknowledged that, okay, there's some charges on the staff. I mean, not really charges on the staff because he doesn't understand exactly what it is. But he'll know that, like, okay, that came from the freaking staff. Because, remember, he punched it away from before. Let me see exactly what it says. What? Bro, this is a terrible translation, bro. Oh my gosh. Whatever. There was charges on the staff. And, of course, we know that after, like, something like this happened. And we know that after, like, a lightning strike happens, he has to recharge it because obviously he can't just spam it over and over again, right? He has to give you more charges. So if this happens, right, and Hakari, you know, he gets hit by this, right? He gets this jackpot right here. He gets the jackpot right here. He will still move it away, right? Because he knows it's from the freaking staff. So he's going to get as far as possible away from it. even though he doesn't really even need to do that because there's not going to be anything else on the staff. He doesn't know that. Again, I have to stress that enough. Hakari doesn't know exactly what's going on. So he's not taking the chance, and he sends Kashimo into the water. If he knew what's actually going on, which is he can't do that staff thing again, and all he has to do is just punch him a couple times and he gets it. I think he already acknowledges that. He would have gotten this jackpot and continued to beat the crap out of Kashimo. He he just would have continued doing that until he freaking died or until he got knocked out. It's just as simple as that. He doesn't need a lethal attack, bro. It's as simple as beat the fuck out of them, bro. It literally is. The thing I think about when I think of like just continuing to attack until they die is it's kind of this, but it's not. It doesn't really apply because he's not attacking someone. I mean, he's not punching someone. Wow, wrong chapter. Is this one right here? Where like I never really noticed until the anime came out. I didn't know that Megumi was. Huh? You know what? Oh, good example actually. A good example is this. This is a very good example. Toji had the thing. He's outstatting the crap out of Dagon. He's beating the crap out of Dagon. Obviously, he's not one-shotting Dagon, right? He's not Butter Hands. No one thinks he's Butter Hands, right? So he's beating the crap out of Dagon. He stabs Dagon, but he continues to keep going until he dies. This is what I'm talking about right here, bro. He continues going until he dies. In Hakari's case, keeps punching the crap out of him until he dies. In Yuta's case, if he didn't have, no, not even didn't have. If Ryu didn't interrupt their fight right there, he would have just continued doing that to Uro until she was done. Because she couldn't do anything about it. She was stun locked. Not even by cursed speech. She was just getting cooked. Just keep doing this. Pow, 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 pow. Or again, like, actually, I just remembered. I could have just went back to this. Where Yuta would have continued just keep, like, the fight literally would have just continued being this. Until someone just dropped. It's as simple as that, bro. It really is. So, stop the downplay, man. But yeah, I just wasted how much time? 53 minutes? Wow, man. Great. And I edited one section, bro. Yeah, I gotta do better.